tapestry of life, and it's all interwoven, and each thread represents all of the lives we've ever lived, and it's all interwoven to show how we have touched many, many people in our lives, multiple lives. All of these threads cross and touch each other, each one, and shows, although we are one little individual thread, we are also all, because we're all interwoven and we're all interconnected, showing that what one person does affects the whole. It affects everyone. If we only knew these things and understood them, there would be so much easier in the world. We would be doing what Jesus wanted us to do. He said if there was love in the world, love was the key. If there was love in the world, there would be no violence, there would be no wars, there wouldn't be the problems that we have today. If there was love in the world, we wouldn't have to keep coming back and repaying karma either, because we would realize how closely knit all of us are together, how each one of us influences the others. And it's very powerful, these lessons are. Some of these, I think, would really solve a lot of problems if they were taught in the churches. But then the next place, after the tapestry room, I had just begun to talk about the library and the schools when we ran out of time. The library is my favorite because I'm a writer, and to me, libraries are my favorite places. I can get lost in a library. I can spend an entire day in a library looking for one little piece of information. And then to find that, oh, it's so wonderful. To me, that's heaven. Be able to do the research and to look through volumes and volumes of books to find one little piece of information to back up something that I've written about. So libraries are so important to me. So my version of heaven would naturally be this huge library that is in the Temple of Wisdom complex. In that library are all the books about everything that has ever happened and everything that ever will happen, on every subject, known or unknown. It is just a tremendous volume of information. And if you don't want to do it with books, you can do it with rooms that are on the sides. They showed me these rooms that if you went into the room and you said what it was you wanted to know about, the information would be shown as a scene around you, like a holograph, like you're in the middle of a holograph, and you would see it happening all around you. This is how I got a lot of the information that I've written about. Some of the people that I was working with went into the rooms rather than going through the books for the information. Especially in my Convoluted Universe Book 1, where I had the whole section on Atlantis. Some of the information came from the person viewing it in these holograph rooms where they could see it. So it can be done in many different ways, but the libraries are tremendous. And they have the schools. In the schools, everything imaginable can be taught. Every subject that has ever been known to man and many that are not known to man, on every subject imaginable are taught in these schools. That, to me, is heaven. I can't imagine people's version of heaven as floating around on a cloud playing a harp. That would be so boring. I want knowledge. I want information. To me, the schools would be a tremendous way to find information. And they said you could learn absolutely anything that you needed there. So I asked them, all right, if you can learn anything you want in these schools on the upper astral, why do you need to come back to the world? Why do you need to come back to the physical to learn? They said, Yes, it's possible you can learn everything you want over there, but it's much slower. You can learn it much faster in a physical body living on Earth. They said it is the same thing as hands-on healing, hands-on experience versus book learning. You can learn a lot of things from books. You go to college, you study chemistry, you're in the laboratory, you're reading the books. Sure, it tells you all about chemistry in the books, but do you really understand chemistry until you go into the laboratory and begin mixing the different chemicals together to see what's going to happen? Or if you're reading a book about how to tear an engine apart, a car engine apart, do you really learn it until you begin practicing it and start actually tearing the physical engine apart and putting it back together again? This is what I mean by book learning versus actual hands-on. That over there in those schools, they can talk about all the things that a physical person goes through, all of the emotions, the trauma, the everyday things that happen to the person. And you would say, oh yeah, that doesn't sound so bad. I can do that. It's not that hard. I can do all those things. Love, hate, jealousy, that doesn't sound too hard. I can do that. And so you make the agreement to come back to experience it. But when you actually get here and you're in the life, then you're living the emotions. You're experiencing the emotions from other people. It's very real. It's not like reading it in a book. There's where the difference is. The book learning versus the hands-on. And you learn so much faster because you are interacting with the people and seeing how your emotions react, how you feel them, and how other people feel them around you. That is the way you learn. It's difficult. It's hard. I tell people when I'm lecturing about this, all of us have had bad things happen to us. That's what life is all about. Life gets in the way. We've all had bad things happen to us. But did you learn anything from it? If you look at it and you really ask yourself, what did I learn from that? Sure, it hurt. There was a lot of things that were very bad. But did I learn even one little thing from the incident? If you learned even one little thing, that was what it was all about. To teach you, to make you grow, to make you advance. Otherwise, you're going to have to do it again until you get that lesson. But if you learned something from the experience, that's what it was all about. This is progression. When we come back, we make contracts with all of these other people that we have karma with, and we hopefully are going to repay it this time. Before you come back, you write your contract and you say, all right, I'm going to do this and that, and I'll get it all worked out. So you come down with your nice little plan of what it is you want to accomplish, what it is you hope to accomplish. You come down with it all wrapped up like a Christmas package. Say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'll get it all finished, and then I'll go back, and I won't have to do it again. The problem is everybody else is coming in with their nice little plan. And this is a planet of free will. Everyone can do what they want. They have the free will. So they are all coming in with their nice little plan that seems so simple on the other side. They come down here, and what happens? These things clash. Everybody with their own little plan and life gets in the way. It doesn't work out the way they thought it was going to work out. I had one person, after they went through the whole life and went through the death experience, at the end of it, they said, "What happened? I had it all figured out. I knew exactly what I was supposed to do. What happened?" Life happened. That's what it was all about. So anyway, the whole secret of this whole thing is you begin with God, you come to learn lessons, you go from life to life learning lessons, and then when you have finally learned everything there is to learn, the final goal is to return once again to God and reunite with God. We have to go full cycle. We take back all of the knowledge, everything we have learned in all of our lifetimes and accumulated. We take that information back to God because this is what He wants. He wants the accumulation of knowledge, the accumulation of information, emotions, everything you have learned. You take it back to God when you have finally completed the entire cycle, which could take, in our time span, it could take eons to complete everything. You cannot do it in one life. It's impossible. It's an accumulation of information. You travel a full circle and you go back. In that way, we are like cells in the body of God. There are cells in the body of God, accumulating information and releasing it to Him when we finally complete our life journey and go back. Well, we're coming to the end of the time again, and there's still more that I can talk about with this. Hopefully, I'll be finishing up these different subjects, and then we can go on to something else. Right? But the main thing I want to tell people is if they want to find out more about the book, you can find out more from our website. It's www.ozarkmountain, the name company, but this is abbreviated. It's OZARKMT.com, the abbreviation for mountain, OZARKMT.com. On this website, you can find out my schedule of where I'm speaking at all over the world. And also, it has about my classes that I give. And if anyone is interested in private sessions, or if they want to sign up for the class, or if they want to have me speak at any conferences, they can contact through our website. And if they want to call, the number is 1-800-935-0045. 1-800-935-0045. And if they want to communicate directly with me, the email is DECannon, CANNON, @MSN.com. All right. A Happy New Year. We're into the new year. Let's have a good life.
You have been listening to BBS Radio, a blogandservice.com production and a service to others endeavor. Thank you very much for tuning in to our radio program, and we wish you much peace and joy on your journey.